Welcome everyone to a journey of wonder and fascination for half an hour now. It's Derek and Joe here to take you on cruise and stay adventures to a part of the world that really fascinates people, particularly those who are adventure seekers here from the UK. So let's take memorable journeys heading east.
Ignite the senses as you embark on a journey to the mystical lands of Asia, a mesmerizing destination offering a unique blend of the ancient and the modern, the traditional and the contemporary. As you cruise from one captivating port to another, you'll be immersed in a melting pot of stunning landscapes, magnificent architecture, and truly unforgettable experiences. Take in the futuristic skyline in Shanghai, enjoy world-class shopping in bustling Bangkok, soak up the cosmopolitan atmosphere in Kuala Lumpur, and of course, sip a Singapore sling at the iconic Raffles Hotel in Singapore. So if you're ready, let's cruise amazing Asia.
Indeed, and that's just a taste of what's to come in this show. We have an offer coming up with Royal Caribbean to Japan, Hong Kong and Vietnam, where the Inside and Ocean View cabins have sold out with the cruise line themselves. But we still have limited places available exclusively for you. Now we'll be heading to Japan and South Korea with Norwegian Cruise Line, all inclusive for October next year, and we have low deposits for all of our offers in this show too. Just £199 each to pay today to secure these incredible trips.
Fantastic, sounds exciting. So let's start our journey to the Far East with an 18-night package for January in 2026, heading to some of the most popular destinations in Bangkok and Vietnam on a 5-star cruise to remember forever. We'll start by flying you over from the UK to Singapore to enjoy this delightful city with 2 nights in a hotel. And as Trish just mentioned there in that little video, you've got to have a Singapore sling. It has to be done, hasn't it? You have to go to the Raffles Hotel.
Obligatory. It's worth it, by the way.
Yeah, have the picture taken.
Take the napkin.
The drink itself, of course, as well. Amazing. Of course, there are so many things to do in this city, and of course it's very different from day and by night as well, which is great. And I just think this will be fascinating. Obviously, if you want longer than 2 nights there, just talk to the team and we can make it longer, but we've built 2 nights into the package for you before we start cruising for 12 nights with a classic drinks package and Wi-Fi included. We're on board the Celebrity Solstice, and I smile every time I see this ship. Indeed. Just from the top deck. You can leave me there for all 12 nights, I'd be fine.
I love Solstice glass, the open air vibe, the real grass on deck, which is the Lawn Club. As you saw, they have croquet there. They do glass blowing demonstrations with a master glass blower as well, which you can be part of, or you can just buy the glass artwork afterwards. Fully stocked libraries. There is an emphasis on celebrity, on enrichment too. So, you know, with your travel library, you can sit there and decide what you're going to be doing in port. You can go to destination expert lectures to help you plan your time in port as well. You might be, you know, in some of these ports wanting to do several excursions. It's totally possible, depending on the time that the ship's in port, for you to do that. All the while relaxing in the celebrity new luxury style. It is about enjoying the finer things in life and really not rushing on celebrity. The spaces are just beautifully ambient. The lighting designs in the spaces, the interior design everywhere you go, thoughtfully done and very fresh and invigorating. It never feels dowdy or old-fashioned on celebrity. It feels really, you know, fresh and energetic, and that's the beauty of this cruise line. It is fresh and energetic and modern. Your drinks and your Wi-Fi are included, so your glasses of wine, your cocktails, your blended cocktails, your coffee at the coffee shop, your bottles of water, your Wi-Fi, all of these things will, you know, tot up to hundreds, thousands of pounds potentially in additional fees. They're included. So that's something you really don't have to worry or budget for during the cruise. The martini bar, I have to say, celebrity, I have the best mixologist I think I've experienced. It.
I don't know how they do it. I've tried it. It goes everywhere.
Yeah, me too.
Absolutely everywhere.
Yeah.
And never looks a thing like those cocktails that they serve up in the fancy bars. And do you know what? When you are on board one of the celebrity ships, yes, they have the most amazing facilities and spaces, and they are design led, and everything's at a certain level. And the net result of that is a feeling of great relaxation, actually, that you can just literally, it's like bathing in a warm pool. It really is. It's so easy. It feels so luxurious. And you can't put into money how that makes you feel either. It's incredible. So let's go on our cruise then.
Yes, the first port we're heading into is Koh Samui, Thailand, one of my personal favourites, where you can head to the amazing Ang Thong Marine Reserve on a full-day tour, or perhaps the Elephant Sanctuary, Samui Elephant Heaven. Learn about these amazing creatures. We have an overnight in the Thai capital, Bangkok, bustling, exciting, vibrant, full of fantastic street markets. Take a tuk-tuk adventure around the city and just really drink in the flair of this amazing place. There's lots of great temples and palaces to visit whilst you're there as well, such as the Grand Palace complex. Next up, we're into Ho Chi Minh, Vietnam, where you can head to the fantastic Mekong Delta, and a lot of people will be heading out there, of course. But it's awash with history, being once known as Saigon. The post office is where you've got to take a selfie, apparently, when you're there. It's famous. Then Nha Trang awaits us, and this is a lovely, very relaxing holiday resort in Vietnam with powder white sand beaches and perfect crystalline ocean. We might not think about that when we think of Vietnam, but it has some of the best beaches in the world to be enjoyed. Then we're into Chiang Mai, also in Vietnam, which is a really historical port between the cities of Da Nang and Hue. Hue has the Imperial Citadel, which is apparently absolutely gorgeous, and you also have Hat Village to visit alongside Perfume River. We have an overnight in Hanoi, which is the capital of Vietnam, which is why we're giving you a little bit of extra time there. You can watch a performance of the famous water puppets whilst you're there. That would be a lovely thing to do, I think. Visit traditional villages and, you know, experience the authentic laid-back culture, and book an excursion to do that whilst you're there. Now you're going to disembark in Hong Kong, and you'll have 2 nights in a hotel to decompress, to do some shopping. It's one of the tax and duty-free capitals of the world. They're particularly known for their electronics deals whilst you're there. The bright lights of Hong Kong offer you both old with new, both, you know, ancient temples and new fantastic little haunts. Victoria Peak's a great place to visit on the funicular, where you can head up and look at the skyline of Hong Kong. And then we will fly you back to the UK after this brilliant Asian adventure on board gorgeous Celebrity.
Do you know what a practical brain was just thinking then? I just saw the name Canon pop up. Other electrical companies are available. I was just thinking, I bet my printer cartridges are cheaper in Hong Kong than they are here.
Absolutely.
What an amazing trip that would be. I'm not casting aspersions on anything. I know they're all very expensive printer cartridges anyway. But what a wonderful, wonderful trip. What a weird thing to think as well as we're going through all of those beautiful destinations. All I can think about is printer cartridges. It is the last place we are at, though, before we fly home. So you might at least have a look. Anyway, early booking now. We're talking January in 2026. And I know my cartridges won't last that long anyway. Low deposit today of just £199 each. That includes your flight out to Singapore, 2 nights there in a hotel, because we've got a lovely bookend of stays here on this holiday. 12 nights on Celebrity Solstice with your classic drinks package and Wi-Fi. Sailing through Thailand and Vietnam. You've got overnight stays in the place that you would want to see in Thailand, lovely Bangkok, of course. So 2 full days there and the chance to explore by night. You've got another overnight in Hanoi as well, because there are so many different things you can enjoy there. End the cruise in Hong Kong, and then 2 nights in a hotel there before you then fly back to the UK. With your printer cartridges in your hand luggage. And the price tag on this one, £199 each today as a deposit to get this price locked in for you. And remember, it is very much 5-star all the way as well. We've covered so much in that price. The flights, the hotel stays, and that 5-star cruise with your classic drinks package and your Wi-Fi included, which, if I remember rightly, is well over $1,000 worth of value. Yeah, $1,300. The drinks package and the Wi-Fi alone is $1,300 of value alone, and that's part of your fantastic package here as well. Do you know what? If you've been looking to go head east rather than bombarding yourself with one place and spending a lot of time there, how about doing a little bit of everything that this cruise has to offer, plus time to really, you know, drink in and relax in Singapore and in Hong Kong as well. And we've made all the arrangements. We've sorted all the flights. We've pieced the holiday together for you. All you've got to do is just book it and enjoy it. And here are the upgrade prices on board Celebrity Solstice if you want to do that. So if you want to go up to your ocean view, your balcony, there are suites available, of course, which give you access into the spa, for instance, and, you know, more exclusive dining and areas to be on the ship as well when you go up to the suite class. But to be honest with you, even on the very, you know, on the inside, which of course is our best value for money, you will feel like you are staying in the best 5-star hotel that you have ever seen, because this is so much more than a hotel could ever wish to offer. But everything is brand spanking new. You know, you walk into your bathroom in the stateroom and you just think, wow, I would just love all of this transported to my home right now. Thank you very much. Everything is of that impeccable quality, not just the food, the spaces, the lounges, the entertainment, just the very being on board Celebrity is of that elevated level. So it's a really nice holiday to treat yourself to. There are other dates for the package as well, as you can see, from next November all the way through to March in 2026. And of course you can tinker with those stays as well if you want to in Singapore and Hong Kong. Just talk to the team. 0800 953 4700. That's always the magic number to call. Any questions you've got about cruise, by the way, to anywhere in the world with any of the major cruise lines, just talk to our team. We're off to Japan next with a whole host of fascinating stops along the way on an all-inclusive cruise, this time with Norwegian Cruise Line on the Spirit. Now, this is 19 nights all told, starting 1st of October next year, and we're flying this time from the UK out to Tokyo in Japan for a 3-night hotel stay, a place we hear about an awful lot, Jo.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing I think that fascinates us about Tokyo is just it's so different from anything we've experienced, many of us, in Europe. You know, it's a completely different world, from the bright dazzling lights of the Shibuya crossing through to the exotic cuisine that Tokyo offers, and, you know, all of these lovely, you know, ancient temples. You've got lots of things to do and see in the city that are really fun and different as well. Of course, when you think about Japan, it's pioneering for so many ways in both technology and so many other things, but also the bullet train. You've got to absolutely ride that whilst you're there. I think just wandering around from district to district to acclimatise will be something that you might want to do to get an overall viewpoint of this amazing city. Then it's time for us to cruise on board the rejuvenated and refreshed Norwegian Spirit. We're going to be on board for 14 nights, and that's all-inclusive cruising. So that means you are going to enjoy 2 nights of specialty dining. You're going to have your drinks included. So this is going to be your, again, all your favourites, your wine, your spirits, your beers, your cocktails, your coffees, all of that. You've got your soft drinks, of course. You've got some Wi-Fi included for you, and also $50 per port, shore excursions credit per cabin. So all of these extras, again, total up to thousands of pounds of extra value, and it's all packed into your cruise fare. Now, the wonderful thing about the Spirit is it's an iconic Norwegian vessel that's been around for some time, that is a favourite amidst cruisers, but she's been refreshed and rejuvenated. And when they do a refurbishment on board Norwegian, they really go to town. So you're talking about brand new spaces, extensions on the staterooms, you know. You'll feel like if you've been on board Spirit in the past, say 10 years ago, you'll feel like you're on a different ship when you go on board. That's the thing about it. And Norwegian, of course, being the kind of pioneers of the freestyle cruising concept, it isn't about, you know, fussy, stuffy cruising. It's not about you've got to wear a tuxedo on formal night. It's literally about you choose when you dine, you choose when you go to the show, you choose what you want to do when you want to do it. No pressure whatsoever, and a really relaxed cruising vibe, but with elevated quality in both dining, entertainment, and everything around the ship that you'd come to expect.
Yeah, you'll love it. It's very much on a par to what we've just seen as well with Celebrity, actually. They kind of sit side by side beautifully in terms of the quality of their offering, especially when it comes to cuisine. It's great fun, and people love Norwegian and will go back again and again and again. If you've not yet cruised them, you really should. So let's cruise out of Tokyo, out of Yokohama actually.
Yes, and we're heading straight into the port for Mount Fuji, Shimizu, which of course Fuji is an active volcano 100 kilometers southwest of Tokyo. You can take the tour that takes you up to the castle park with views of Mount Fuji and the Schengen shrine up there as well. Then we're into Kobe, known for its beef of course, where you can visit the amazing castle or the Umeda Sky building with the Ferris wheel. I think would be a fun thing to do. But the Shin-Kobe ropeway is also a fabulous viewpoint if you are brave enough to see lovely views. Then it's next up, it's Nagoya, which is the capital of Japan's Aichi prefecture. So a real shipping hub, and you have being there in northern Japan, you've got the Nagoya Castle to visit and also the royal homes with lovely gardens, of course. Hakodate is up next. One thing that you'll love about Japan is the beautifully manicured gardens and, of course, the bonsai trees. So this will be, I think, for many, a real highlight of their visit, and certainly Hakodate has plenty of those to see. Then we're on into Otaru next up, which is a very atmospheric port town with a lovely romantic canal. So stroll down the canals and the back streets, of course. They're known for their shops and shop houses as well, and lots of them featured in famous Japanese dramas. Next up, it's Niigata. Along the sea coast, you have the aquarium with gorgeous sea otters and dolphins, and of course you'll be seeing native marine life to this part of the world as well. And then the Hakusan Park, and I think moving into autumn, the scenes will be beautiful in the parks. Kanazawa is next, and it's the capital of Ishikawa Prefecture on central Honshu Island. And of course, Japan is a series of thousands of islands. Many people don't think about this, but it is. It's also geothermal, so you'll find some lovely thermal springs to visit. Hiroshima's up next, and something that would be an interesting experience would be the traditional tea ceremony. So if you'd like to do that, remember $50 per port, per cabin towards your shore excursions is included. So speak to the team about booking up a tea ceremony. Nagasaki awaits us, where you can visit the Shimbara Castle and Village, which is a charming, well-preserved 16th century town featuring a samurai village, superbly reconstructed. I think that would be a really interesting tour to do whilst you're there. Then we're on into South Korea, Jeju, known for its incredible skincare, this part of Korea, and particularly Jeju with its lovely flora and fauna. So you might want to shop for that, or head to the gorgeous caves and waterfalls whilst you're there in this tropical paradise. Now we have an overnight in Seoul, which is the capital of South Korea, and I think just you definitely want to do a best of Seoul while you're there and see all of the viewpoints, all of the famous landmarks of this amazing city, such as the tower and the palace, lots of bustling markets. You can see it by tuk-tuk as well if you want to be brave. Then we're going to be flying you back to the UK after this epic Asian adventure, and of course starting off in Japan, heading into South Korea as well, but you actually get some really interesting off the beaten track ports in Japan to visit.
Yeah, I love the flat. It's a nice mix of city and rural here as well. You notice in a lot of the locations quite mountainous and whatever, lots of cable car adventures and ropeways and things like that, which I think is absolutely fantastic. If you want a little glimpse into the world in this part of the world, if you're watching us on Sky right now, I think there's a channel I think it's called NHK, and I keep seeing these wonderful relaxed documentaries of different aspects of life in Japan and this part of the world. And honestly, you can lose yourself in these documentaries, and it makes you want to go even more. And of course, Japan is so much easier to do right now with instant translation apps that we have on our phone, a very warm welcome in the country as well. It's very, very easy to navigate your way around. So wonderful adventure next October, 19 nights in all, really immersive Japan and South Korea itinerary on the menu for you, starting with your flight out from the UK to Tokyo. Of course, we've got 2 nights in a hotel there, so explore the city and just be wowed by it. And then you'll have 2 weeks on the Norwegian Spirit with premium drinks included, a Wi-Fi package, 2 nights of speciality dining included, and shore excursion credits for every port. Deposits today, just £199 per person. And this is a holiday never to be forgotten. It's one of those kind of, I don't want to say once in a lifetime, because you kind of think, I've got to spend a lot of money. I've got to spend tens of thousands for a holiday of a lifetime. You really don't at all, as you can see. So this is an experience that you probably want to repeat at some time as well. When you get the bug for this part of the world, you really do get it as well, and you want to explore more and more of it. Here are the upgrade prices on board the Norwegian Spirit for this one. Bear in mind it is a 14-night cruise as well. Wonderful to have ocean view, even more wonderful to have a balcony. Your choice entirely and completely. We've got the best value there in front of you at 3,199, which really is comprehensive. And if you did want longer in Tokyo on this one, then please just talk to the team. We'll absolutely make it happen. Of course, on this one, you fly into Tokyo and you fly back out of Seoul in South Korea. Maybe you want a couple of nights there in a hotel as well. You've already got an overnight in Seoul as your final couple of days on the cruise. But if you wanted to add a couple of nights in a hotel, again, just talk to the team. We can make that happen too for you. 0800 953 4700. The great thing about these offers is that you can tailor them, you can change them around a little bit, and our team are very, very happy to help you with that. Right, let's move on straight away to an exclusive Cruise1st package, which is very popular indeed. In fact, so popular that Royal Caribbean themselves have sold out both the inside and ocean view staterooms already. But we have a small allocation still available if you are quick. We're heading to Hong Kong, Vietnam and Japan on this trip, which starts on the 7th of October next year for 16 nights, flying first again to Tokyo. And we've got one night in a hotel here before we cruise. So just a little quick look around the city. And I know we talk about our lovely cameraman, Rich, who you never very often get to see actually, but he goes to Japan pretty much every year. He would go 5 times a year if we had time to let him go that many times, and always comes back with tales of Tokyo, of buying the wonderful, games and games consoles and things like that. So all the latest, the very oldest in the temples as well. Yes, Mr. P's just reminded me actually, if you are coming on our cruise at the end of the year, Richard from behind the cameras, you'll finally get to see him in the flesh as well. On this, we cruise with Royal Caribbean and we're on board Ovation of the Seas. So we are talking quantum class. We're talking about a ship which really has been beautifully placed in this part of the world. It's great for adventure. And just remember when you're cruising from this part of the world as well, that you are going to be meeting people from all over the world, because this is a really popular place to cruise. And I think when you mix the kind of action and the vivacious nature of a Royal Caribbean cruise with exploring this part of the world, the two to go together just beautifully.
I mean, Asia has never felt closer to us than it does now because of the world of cruising. Because it's really opened the doors now to places that you would probably never thought to have visited before. And you get a lovely taster, of course, of these destinations for you to go back to in the future or not, depending on which one you love. And doing it in style on, of course, one of the most dynamic cruise lines out there, something that offers you so much entertainment. They even have two big entertainment venues. They have the 270 Lounge, which actually has its very own dedicated cast that just do the shows in there. So these are proper West End style shows, kind of mixed with Vegas, because there's so much kind of acrobat, there's loads of different flying and all kinds of fun things happening in the shows as well. Bit cirque, I'd say the 260 Lounge, 270 Lounge ones. In the main theatre, then you have your main cast. Now, when it comes to entertainment, in the entertainment district, you have the Dodgem cars, you've got the fantastic arcades, you've got the rock climbing wall, of course, which is up above. You've got the North Star.
It's dizzying, let me tell you. Anyway, time for us to cruise now. 11 nights. Yeah,
we're heading into Nagasaki first, where you can visit the Peace Memorial Park or the Confucius Temple, perhaps while you're there. Make sure you book a shore excursion as well. If you want to really get a flavour for this port of call, because of course the very well-versed team can help you. Next up, it's Jeju in South Korea. Now, you might not have ever thought of visiting South Korea, but I tell you what, when you see it, you'll understand why people rave about it. Lots of natural beauty, gorgeous waterfalls, lush forest, and of course, incredible ancient history. Then it's Hong Kong, this bustling incredible metropolis, offers you wonderful shopping, incredible history, but you're not far from Disneyland, so maybe you want to do that for the day and go and visit Hong Kong Mickey. Be a fun thing to do, wouldn't it? Next up, we're into Nha Trang, and this is known as as the premier beach resort in Vietnam. It's very naturally beautiful. Vin Pearl Land, that's a fun theme park you can visit while you're there, or the Po Nagar towers as well. But of course, it's the beaches that are famous. Then we're into Ho Chi Minh, once known as Saigon. Underneath the city, there's these amazing tunnels called the Cu Chi tunnels, which show you, some history from the war, which you can learn about, as well as some of the major viewpoints that Old Saigon has to offer. Now, we're disembarking in Singapore, and you have a 2-night hotel stay to cap off your adventure, to take it easy. Maybe you're just going to stroll Gardens by the Bay, head to Raffles, enjoy the light show at night on the harbour, or maybe take a little biking tour. That's something I really love to do when I'm in a new city. I like to sort of take a bike tour to get an idea. And the thing is, now there's just a wealth of tours on offer. Fun things like, your food tours, your drink tours, your dessert tours, if you like that kind of thing, and run by locals who give you a real idea of the most famous kind of off the beaten track places to visit in a new city. So something, some food for thought, so to speak. So here's an overview of your amazing adventure. Flying into Tokyo for a night there, and of course then heading off to Nagasaki, South Korea. We're into Hong Kong, finishing up in some premier sort of beach resorts of Vietnam before, Ho Chi Minh. And then finally a little mini break in Singapore before we fly you back to the UK.
Perfect little package, this one. I'd say a little package. It's quite a big package, actually, isn't it? 16 nights, and that's the kind of, meaty adventure you want if you're heading to this part of the world. Now, remember, this cruise is sold out on the inside and ocean view with Royal Caribbean themselves, but we have still a small allocation. So a deposit today of £199 each will secure your place. And as Joe says, that includes your flight out to Tokyo, a night in a hotel there, the 11-night cruise, which ends in Singapore, of course, and then you have your 2-night hotel stay in Singapore and the flight back from there, all for our exclusive price tag, which can't even be booked directly through Royal Caribbean themselves right now. We still have a small allocation. It's already very, very popular already. So that is your inside price at $2,399. We also have very, very limited availability on balcony and suite upgrades as well. So I want to show you those because we have those still available. So with Royal Caribbean themselves, you cannot book the inside, you cannot book an ocean view. Ocean view's gone even with us as well. So that's completely and utterly sold out. We have a small allocation on inside at $2,399, and we have a small allocation on balcony and suite upgrades as well. And this is a cruise, this is a good case in point actually. This doesn't happen until October next year, and already we're finding that cruise after cruise after cruise sold out entirely. Package after package after package sold out entirely. It happens more and more often because people are booking more in advance. And I'll tell you why, because people are sensible. We are in a great place right now. There are some excellent late deals around right now. I'm not going to lie to you. Get onto the website, you'll find them there. But with a late deal, you have less choice of, where your cabin is, where it's situated. You kind of, you have the choice of what is left over, which is great. You can get a better price for it. You might be someone that really favors that kind of holiday. But the secret of booking in advance is locking in a price that can't change. It's locking in that price that's really, really good and saying, right, okay, deposit right now, sorted, I've locked in my price tag, it's not going to move. Because if you look, even if you're just planning a weekend away here in the UK, you look at a hotel, you look at the price and you think, oh, that's good, I'll just go and sort everything out just to make sure I can make that. By the time you come back to the hotel website, the price has changed, it's jumped up. You think, hang on a second, I only looked at it. But you weren't the only one. You weren't the only one that looked at it, and dynamic pricing on travel changes things very, very quickly. And trying to keep a price to stand still in the travel industry is like trying to knit with yogurt. And our team are expert yogurt knitters, and they've been doing it for the best part of 25 years right now. So we've got exclusive deals locked in with airlines, hotels, cruise lines as well to get you this kind of value. So really do, don't take our word for it. Call the team, because until you've got that holiday booked, you won't believe it. So call us now and make it a reality. 0800 953 4700. We even pay for the call.
We certainly do, and we can't wait to hear from you. So get booking, get dialing, and we will see you very, very soon right back here.
Absolutely. Take care.